Commissioner, if you can record as well, that'd be great. So I want to be respectful to everyone's time. People are slowly coming in, and so we'll just keep letting them in as they come in. So the purpose of this meeting today was I wanted to meet everyone. I know we've got the WhatsApp group, but I wanted to meet people. I wanted to introduce myself as your representative, and then I also wanted everyone to meet each other. Some of you know each other, but I strongly believe by connecting, we can get a lot more done. So I do have a presentation, but before the presentation, if we can just go around with introductions. And so this meeting is focused, it's focused on gastroenterologists, GI fellows in training, endoscopy nurses, because one of the goals is how can we work as a team to enhance medical education in GI and patient care. So I will start with introductions, and then we can go around with everyone introducing themselves. I had posted the agenda, so you should have seen the agenda when you signed up. So we'll start with introductions, then I'll go ahead and I'll share a presentation, which is some of the results from the questionnaire that we had sent out. And then finally, I'll share some information about the ASGE, which is obviously a key reason we're here today. And then we'll take it from there. Dr. Eric Murunga will also have an opportunity to address us. And I'll talk a little bit more about Eric. So I'll start with introduction. So I am Dr. Akwi Asombang. Oh, and we need a group picture. So at some point, people will have to have the cameras on. And then in the future, I think we might have to say cameras on when we meet, because sometimes it's kind of awkward just looking at a blank screen and you feel like you're talking to yourself. So if you can turn your camera on, that would be really great. So I get to see who you are. So when I bump into you in the streets, I don't walk right past you like I don't know you, but it would be really nice if I got to see your faces. So I'll start. So I am Dr. Akwi Asombang. I am an interventional gastroenterologist at Massachusetts General Hospital, and I am the Director of Global Health and GI at MGH. And I am the newly appointed American Society for Gastrointestinal Endoscopy International Committee, Africa Region Vice Chair. And the reason for the meeting today was introductions to tell you guys about ASGE, and understand what your needs are and how we can work together to make sure we help everyone develop professionally while providing adequate patient care and enhancing GI across the African continent. So that's my brief introduction. As you go around introducing yourselves, if you say your name, your specialty, and then the country you're located in, that'd be super, super important. And one thing I'd emphasized in the chat, this is not about North Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, Central, West, South. It's about the entire African continent. So absolutely would love to know where everyone is based and their interest. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I'll just go with who I see on my screen, and then we'll go from there. So I see Abdullahi Hadi. If you want to introduce yourself, please.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. My name is Dr. Abdullahi Hadi. I'm a gastroenterologist practicing in Nairobi, Kenya, in private practice. Good to meet everyone. Thank you.
Perfect. I see Dr. Haja Azara. And if I mispronounce your name, guys, please correct me.
Hello, everyone. I am Haja Azara El Ajlamin, gastroenterologist from Niger. And I am Secretary General of Society, Nigerian Society of Gastroenterology.
Perfect.
Well, I'm French. English. My English is not very good, but because we talk in French, donc I go to improve this one, inshallah.
Yeah. Well, I want
gastroenterologist from Niger, but not Nigeria. West Africa.
Welcome. Well, I want you
Thank
to
you.
know that my French is horrible, and I also hope that maybe when communicating with you, I'll improve on my French.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
embarrassed to
Thank
say I'm supposed to know French since I'm
Oh,
Cameroonian as well. So,
thank you.
all right.
Donc, je suis docteur Elhaj Lamine Hajazara, gastroentérologue à l'hôpital général de référence de Niamey. C'est le plus grand hôpital du Niger. Et actuellement, je suis en formation au Maroc où je fais un 2U d'écho-endoscopie et en même temps, je fais la CPR. Merci. J'espère que vous avez bien compris. Et en même temps, je suis la secrétaire générale de la Société nigérienne d'hépatogastroentérologie et d'endoscopie digestive.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Enoch, Dr. Siawalo. Your mic is muted. You're still muted.
Hi, everyone. My name is, okay, thank you. My name is Enoch Siabalo. I'm a gastroenterologist based in Zambia. Yeah, I've been working with Doc Akwi with advanced endoscopy here in Zambia, which he's trying to bring in our country. I look forward to interacting in the group and hoping for more opportunities through ASGE. I was lucky to get an opportunity, a sponsorship from the ASGE to come to Harvard, Mass Gen, to see what Dr. Akwi is doing. And I've seen Talon is there as well. Yes, I'm a real human being. I'm here.
Wonderful. Dr. Orseni?
Okay. Hello, everybody. Okay. Hi, once again. I'm Dr. Kwemi Owosheni. I'm a gastroenterologist. I work in Abeokuta Federal Medical Center as a consultant. That's in Nigeria.
Wonderful. Dr. Omotola?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm Nurse Omotola Fatoki, an endoscopy nurse working at Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, Abeokuta.
Welcome. Welcome.
Nigeria, yeah. Yes, ma'am. Thank
Welcome. Dr. Liana Montlain?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liana Mondlane. I'm a gastroenterologist from Mozambique. I work on Maputo Central Hospital, and I am the director of the service.
Wonderful. Dr. Smita Devani? Are you there? We can go to Samuel David. We're just doing introductions. Dr. Samuel David. Dr. Uche Ijoma.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello, Akwi. It's great to see you. Just 1 minute. It's great to see you and to hear everybody's voice. My name is Uche Ijoma. I'm a professor of medicine. I'm a consultant gastroenterologist and hepatologist. I work at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, Enugu, Nigeria. It's really nice for us to have this forum, and I'm sure we're going to achieve quite a lot, Abby. Thank you so much. Thank you indeed.
Thank you. Dr. Ken Tachi.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Kenneth Tachi. the University of Ghana Medical School and a gastroenterologist at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. The screen has jumped. Dr. Brighton Sokolo.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Brighton Sokolo from Zambia, gastroenterologist. I also work with Dr. Akwi. We've worked together for quite a long time, even from the time I was still training. So currently we're trying to help set up the advanced endoscopy services in Zambia. And I'm very happy that this initiative has come up. And I'm sure that it will help us a lot to try and develop each other in the different countries. Thank you very much for this initiative, and bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Gania Toyeleki. And
hello, Akwi. Sorry for joining late.
That's okay. We're doing introductions.
Okay. Oh, sorry. 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm moving out. It's a bit noisy. Okay. So sorry. Where am I? Okay. So my name is Gania Toyeleke. I'm a gastroenterologist. I live in Nigeria and practice in Nigeria. I was at the teaching hospital and the director of the WGO Lagos Training Center. I'm currently working at the private practice in Lekki, Lagos. It's called the Gastrodam Clinic. Thank you very much, and nice to be here, and thanks for the invitation. Thank you.
Wonderful. Dr. Smita Davani.
Hi, sorry, I'm having problems with my Zoom. I'm Dr. Devani. I'm from Kenya, part of GSK, which is the Gastroenterology Society of Kenya. I'm a consultant gastroenterologist with a special interest in IBD.
Perfect. Wonderful. And then Dr. Chukwudike.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Varisu Chukwudike. I'm a gastroenterologist at the Redu Center for Digestive Health, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm also the director of endoscopy here. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome. And then I think I saw Dr. Rupal Maru joined. If you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll wrap up with Talon.
Hi, I'm from Kenya. I'm Dr. Rupal. I work at the Kenyatta National Hospital. I am also one of the executives at the Gastroenterology Society of Kenya. Just found out about this meeting, so I just joined.
Welcome, welcome. Talon, you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Hello, everyone. My name is Taline Artinian. I am the manager of Global Strategic Partnerships. I work with the International Committee, and I really enjoy working with Dr. Asombang. She's an inspiration, and she does wonderful work. So it's my honor to be here with you today and to meet your needs.
Wonderful. Thank you, Talon. And thank you to everyone who could make it. We'll keep this below 2 hours. That's our goal. And then I'm hoping we'll have a lot more meeting, hoping this is the beginning. And one of the things, that I want to say in terms of from a patient perspective is that, recently we posted about, I posted about a patient who was in Kenya, needed a doctor, and posting in that group, we were able to connect the patient to someone in Eldoret, Kenya. So I think that's another advantage by having all of us in one platform. Sometimes patients in different countries are looking for a gastroenterologist. And if we just share in that group, we're able to connect patients. So that's just sort of like a quick example. But let me get right into the slides, into the presentation, and then we'll definitely have some time to have more conversations. Like I said, this is just the beginning, but really hoping we'll continue these conversations and make some of our goals a reality. So I'll start by sharing my screen and let's see, share. Okay. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
we can.
All right. So let's get right into it. If I go too fast, please tell me to slow down. So we already did the introductions, which is where I wanted everyone to meet each other. And so I'd sent a questionnaire out asking people specifically, what are some of the proposed suggestions of how ASGE could work across Africa? And so then what I've done is I basically copied those responses. I don't have names attached to them. And I'm going to go through those responses. I did not put them in categories. You'll see some of the things are repeating. This is all intentional. And it's to sort of highlight some of the words you'll hear a lot more. But eventually we'll put this into categories. So that's what we're going to start with. Then we're going to get into what people suggested as potential ways we could work together, potential solutions, and then we'll have conversations about real programs we could hopefully develop. So this was a question, how could we work with the ASGE? And I'll get also into how does one become a member of the ASGE? So people said training, opportunity for hands-on, collaboration, scholarships, facilitating advanced endoscopy training. Again, offer training opportunities, dissemination of information about what ASGE can do to enlighten healthcare workers, what's the function of the ASGE, and what do we stand to gain from it. Once again, collaboration, capacity building, collaboration, training, plan short courses in interventional GI, opportunities for residents and specialists, enhanced exchange programs, opportunities and access to equipment, opportunities for training. And then someone mentioned something they learned at DBW, which was polypectomy, opportunities again for training, sensitization programs and workshops for scholarship, bilateral training programs, reduction of the ASG annual dues to promote member engagement, organize more trainings, helping equip the hospitals better, resource people to visit the centers for training, simulate transfer of endoscopic skills through collaboration, collaborative multi-center studies. So there's a highlight about research, collaboration to enhance capacity building, and then collaboration with different GI African societies. And we have leaders from various African societies within this group as well. Partnerships, tackle down the burden of NAFLD. How do you collaborate again with the GI societies? How do you improve data collection on colorectal cancer, endoscopy equipment donation, increase opportunities for training and research? Then the governments across the continent should be involved and invest in GI. A college can be created for the nurses within the continent to help them have interest and be a part of it. And that's a critical point about the nurses, which has come up a few times. Training of trainers, securing training grants and positions for Africans and collaboration. Then this first part, so someone who speaks French would translate that first part. Like I said, I copied it directly. So if someone translates that into the chat, that'd be great. I'll translate it myself later too. Making programs and training courses available for gastroenterologists and trainees in Africa, subsidizing the annual fees, fund some programs that are educative and beneficial to members in Africa, exchange programs, organize endoscopy programs with scholarship, establish training on the ground for nurses, regular workshops, seminars across the African continent, and then the big highlight, network collaboration, capacity building and training, and then through community participation and local governments. Once again, more arranged training programs in Africa, more training instructions, gain collaborations, establish guidelines to suit specific needs and challenges in Africa. And this was going to the thought that sometimes we extrapolate data from the West and apply it immediately to the African continent, even though it does not always apply. Increase awareness campaigns on GI cancers, strengthen MDTs by offering multi-track workshops, provide grants for research, equipment and infrastructure, work hand in hand with the government, especially on training endoscopy nurses, strengthen existing collaboration with gastroenterologists in Africa through their societies or organizations, enhance opportunity for pre and post fellowship, sponsorship of interested nurses and doctors in GI, collaborate with African Association of Future Gastroenterologists to foster mentorship programs, opening of technical internship camps for doctors and nurses, sending teams to countries for local training, creating a discussion forum of clinical cases and debate topics, reduction of registration fee and adherence to ASGE, identify which diseases are more prevalent by facilitation of more research, hybrid programs, and continuous hands-on programs. What is some, again, proposed? We continue. Share experience on how centers and countries in developed world address the issues about advancement, free membership fee for Africa, grants to strengthen facilities, involvement in short course training, skills transfer via exchange programs, donation of complete sets of endoscopy towers to make endoscopy services available, exchange programs, sister programs, training and fellowship opportunities for doctors working in Africa, easy access to ASGE programs and videos, mentorship programs for hands-on endoscopy. So the next question that I'd ask people is, what programs do you want? Because this is all about you, right? And then at the end of the day, we'll see what we can realistically offer. And so what did people say? Upper GI endoscopy and liver disease, interventional GI, once again, liver and therapeutic, IBD, colorectal cancer, hepatitis, endoscopy, HCC, luminal GI, ERCP, general GI, interventional, endo and MASLD, H. pylori and GI, hepatitis, MASLD, interventional GI. Upper GI bleeding, malabsorption syndromes, endoscopy, liver and colorectal oncology, hepatitis, hepatobiliary, screening colonoscopy, subclinical hepatic encephalopathy, both advanced endoscopy and research, endoscopy and liver disease and hepatitis, viral hepatitis, interventional endoscopy, advanced endoscopy, AI and endoscopy, CRC, HCC, gut microbiota, GI and hepatology, lower GI endoscopy and ERCP, hepatology, and then the nurses also had some contributions. The key thing is we need to realize and acknowledge that nurses play a vital role in addressing emerging public health challenges like NAFLD, neurogastro, global GI, outcomes in GI, post-procedure care after ERCP and its side effects. Once again, similar things, advanced endoscopy, functional, liver, basic and advanced, research, upper GI endoscopy, malignancy, basically GI hepatology and GI endoscopy, hepatitis. Same programs, as you can see, are repeating themselves. Okay, so then the question is, what next? So I kind of went through those quickly, but hopefully the message is clear in terms of what you guys had, and it was more than you guys, there were about 50 plus responses who made those suggestions. So each line item was by one individual. So that's why I did not group them, but that just shows you how many responses. So what next? What's the proposal? What are some of the things we could consider doing? And this is going to be part of the conversation. So I had presented this at the recent Africa Hepatopancreatibiliary Cancer Consortium meeting. And what I had said was, the question is, what is the proposal for training and patient care? You know, should we consider regional centers of training, right? Meaning, so as we're starting right now, or as we're going on right now, not all countries need interventional endoscopy. As we start, not all cities, not all countries need to have a liver transplant center. So can we consider setting up centers for training and patient care? This is just as we get started. As we move along, we might reach that point where every country has an interventional endoscopy center. But as we're slowly ramping things up, can we consider doing this? Would this be very realistic for us as we sit in this meeting? So solution being proposed is regional centers. And so how do we select a regional center? And so I looked up what the African Union, has quote unquote divided the continent in a good way by region. So you have the North, the West, Central, Eastern, Southern, and then you have the diaspora, which was something I learned through this research, that the diaspora is actually a region considered by the African Union, right? So could we select sites that are regional using this as the first identification? And then individuals can be trained within these centers. Eventually, we'll be able to expand across the entire African continent. Because realistically speaking, if we pause and think about it, if we start a program at this very moment, at this very second, can we really empower all the 50 plus countries in the continent? Is that realistic? Or can we start slow and work our way up? I believe starting slow, working our way up is more realistic, and we will get there to where every country is empowered to be able to provide these services for our patients. And so let's talk about the ASGE, right? So there was a question and there were a lot of comments. And so hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Talon is on here to answer them, because there were a few comments where people didn't know how they could be members of the ASGE. They didn't even know what the ASGE was, which is perfectly fine. And that's why I wanted to meet, since I have now this new title as your representative. It's extremely important that I introduce myself to you. I tell you about the ASGE, and then we see how we can work together as a team. All right. So what are the benefits of being a member of the ASGE? So just a little bit about the ASGE. It was founded in 1941. It's dedicated to patient care and digestive diseases. It promotes excellence and innovation in GI endoscopy. There's more than 17,000 members worldwide, and some of you are actually members of the ASGE, so some of this is quote unquote old news. And it does provide the highest standards for endoscopic training and practice. Most of our endoscopy guidelines are by the ASGE. And the reason that point is also important is if you think about your own society in your own country, is your society providing the guidelines for your country? I loved in our post, I don't remember who posted about the H. pylori guidelines in Kenya. It's going to come out and I know they'll talk about it. But as soon as that post was, put in the WhatsApp, someone asked for it. Well, they wanted more information, but it's not been, published yet. But that's an example of what the societies can do, right? What each society can do. So like with ASGE, they're providing us the guidelines for endoscopy and other GI-related diseases. They also foster endoscopic research, and they recognize distinguished contributions to endoscopy. So it's your professional home. So I've been to the ASGE Center. The pictures are just from the ASGE Center. And this is an example of what a training center could look like. You have on the far right where you have the hands-on, there's a room in the ASGE where we can do the hands-on with animal models. And then we have an auditorium where we get the lectures. And then we have a place where we can sit, have lunch, breakfast, whatever it is, and network. Now, exploring the value of membership. Why? What's the benefit? So you do get educational resources, you get clinical support, you get network opportunities to network and connect, and you get to engage and be informed. So they had also conducted a survey in 2023 asking international members, what are the most significant professional challenges you're currently facing or expect to face over the next 12 months? And 52% of the people said staying up to date on the latest clinical practices. And 51% said integrating and using new technologies, which is an example of someone had mentioned AI as something that's of significance. So how is ASGE meeting these challenges? So they do provide hands-on courses. They do have in-person courses. They do have blended online didactic and hands-on sessions. They have virtual, and they also have on-demand. So they say anytime, anywhere, on any device, you can log on to the ASGE site using your phone, using your laptop, wherever you are, as long as there's Wi-Fi, you can get on there. I know someone had made a comment, and that's something we'll talk about a little bit more in regards to the hands-on courses. And that's something we can talk about in terms of how, so the comment someone had made was, you know what, I pay all these dues, but we don't get as many hands-on courses. The hands-on courses are in the States. The hands-on courses are at the ASGE Center or different centers within the States. They're not always outside the country. And I think in this climate where it might be a little bit hard for people to come to the States, I think something we need to think about is, especially as a member, how can we have hands-on courses in different African countries? We may not have selected the regional centers, but let's say Kenya's having a meeting. Could we partner with the Kenyan Society? Could we partner with the Nigerian Sogan Society? Could we partner with CELD in Ghana? Could we partner with Zambia? Could we partner with South Africa? So these different societies, could we partner with them as part of ASGE to bring ASGE to Africa, given that not all of us can come to the States for the various reasons? So that's something for us to think about. And then there's something known as GI Leap. Some of you may have seen this, but absolutely amazing. I've seen this sort of transform from my time as a trainee to a consultant, but it's an online platform for those who have been on there, and it has advanced technological features, modern, optimal online learning experience. And the material for members, there's a large amount of material for members that's free. It's valued over $3,000, but if you're a member, it's included in your membership, okay? So that's something, another resource when it comes to, well, why should I even bother with being a member of the ASGE? And then the other thing you'll see is, other than the courses, there's videos. How do you perform certain procedures? You want to do a PEG, there's a video on it. You want to do an EUSF and FNB, there's a video. ERCP, there's a video. Colonoscopy techniques, there's videos. And then they have self-assessment tools, right? So if you want to take, like an exam, answer some questions, there's questions on that. I have actually used the questions in ASGE to study for my boards. And then there's webinars, there's quick video tips, there's podcasts, and there's different, ways of learning using gamification. And so what else could you get from them? So there's different journals you can have access to online. You don't need to have these mailed to you. You can actually get these online as well. So there's GIE journal, there's IGIE, there's a video GIE, which is videos, and there's a practice guidelines, which I always think is interesting being up to date. There's journal scans, technology reviews, research awards. So the research awards, so there's different grants. These are not open only to people in the States. They have different grants that are open to any ASGE member. And this criteria, you look at the criteria and see if you qualify, meaning the some that could be just for residents, it could be for individuals who are within a few years of training, it could be for consultants, but the grants are open to multiple people. We actually have people on here who have been recipients. I'm going to give examples. So we have the ASGE Endoscopy International Training Grant. Dr. Chukwudike on here was a recipient, and he traveled to India, got 2 months of hands-on in endoscopy, and now he's working in interventional GI in Nigeria. Dr. Enoch, he mentioned at the beginning, Dr. Enoch Siabalo from Zambia, he's going to be coming and joining me, and he is a recipient of the ASGE training grant. So it's not limited only to people based in the States. It's open to individuals who are members of the ASGE. So there are benefits, and those grants are, you're getting funding to support your stay. You get funding to pay for your flights and to cover some of your housing. And then there's digestive disease, so DDW. Being a member, you also get, significant discounts depending on when you sign up. And then these are the publications that I mentioned. Some of these you get as quick tidbits in your emails, but then you can also access this online. And then, so GI Now. So this is somewhat kind of new, but it has different content actually for both adult and pediatric GI docs. And then it has various podcasts. And as you can see, they have new content added quarterly. And so at the bottom, you'll see some of the things they have. So you just click on what you're interested in, sit down in the comfort of your home, and you'll get to, to learn whatever it is that you want to learn by looking at that material. And I'm going through this a little bit fast, but I am recording this. And, hopefully you'll be able to, I'll figure out a way for you to have access. And I think we're also live streaming it. So e-learning. So you can actually have the e-learning, which is basically some of the things that I've already mentioned. And there's standard setting orientation, providing GI teams tools. So not only you, the individual, but your entire team, your endoscopy unit, including the nurses. And then you can get about 4 hours of required content, 2 hours of additional material for those who want to further understanding the GI procedures. This is in addition to just the regular material that's available online. And then you have the knowledge checkpoints. Like I mentioned, there's different exams that you can take. And you can also do an exam and you get graded, you receive a certificate of completion. You have to pass the exam to receive that certificate of completion. And what about the discounts? So there's actually discounts for new members. So you can get 25% on all ASGE educational offerings and products. And then the membership dues, the annual for international, it's $385, but that includes everything. I know some people are just like, oh yeah, that's a lot of money. And I totally understand. But one of the ways I look at it is, as someone who's been a member for such a long time, is what have been the benefits for me being an ASGE member? And for me, it's just been the resources, the connecting, and then the opportunities to actually apply for grants. I'm paying $385, but there's an opportunity for me to mentor someone who's going to get a $5,000 grant so then they can come and spend time advancing their skills. So I look at it from that perspective. It's what am I gaining from this? And that's something I want us to talk about more, because as someone had mentioned, like, well, what about the hands-on? So let's see at the end of the conversation, how can we maximize that membership, right? If I'm going to pay $385, how can we make the most of that membership? And I'm going to pause here and thank you for listening. And let me stop sharing. And we'll soon get into, we're soon going to get into the conversation part. But before we do that, there's 2 other people who joined, or 3 other people I see joined that I'd like them to introduce themselves. Angela had joined earlier. So Angela, if you want to introduce yourself, then we'll go to Dr. Okeke, and then we'll go to Nurse Aida Binu, and then I'll hand over to Eric. Angela, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Asombang. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
I'm Angelo Autek. I'm a medical student based in Egypt. I'm not a gastroenterologist, but I'm aspiring gastroenterologist. I'm a mentee of Dr. Asombang and also MGH Global Health and Gastroenterology volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Okeke, are you able to speak?
Yes. And I'm Edith Okeke. I'm a gastroenterologist from Nigeria. I was in Just University Teaching Hospital and still affiliated with Just University Teaching Hospital, Just.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. Nurse Aida Binu.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Olushola Abiodun Ayedebinu, a Nigerian nurse, registered nurse, midwife, perioperative nurse, and a trained advanced endoscopy nurse. I've retired, but I'm working with College of Nursing Science as a clinical instructor to the perioperative nurses in training. Thank you for the opportunity. Dr. Akwi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Nice to see you. Okay. So the quick summary of basically what I was saying is that the whole point of us getting together is about the entire continent. That's what it is. And number 1, how do we improve medical education in GI and training? How do we enhance patient care? How do we do all of that while supporting professional development, not only for early career GIs, but our GI trainees, our nurses, our techs, and even our more experienced gastroenterologists? And then how do we collaborate across the continent? How do we have maybe these regional centers of training? How do we have someone from Kenya come to Nigeria and do training? How do we have someone from Kenya go to South Africa, go to Egypt? I think you get my point. And how does the ASGE play a role in all of this? How can the ASGE support some of our programs in being successful? So I'm going to pause here because I do want us to talk about that. But the other person I wanted to introduce was Dr. Eric. So Eric and I the last time we met in person was in Kenya. And, we'd had this conversation about, we're talking about African GIs, how we don't really have a society or a gathering where all the gastroenterologists are on a similar platform. And the idea came together about having the African GI Society. And I'll have Eric discuss that a little bit more. And then, most of you should be on the WhatsApp. If not, just make sure I think most of you have my number, so you can text me or text someone you see on here to making sure that they add you to the WhatsApp. And we're not going to be we had a meeting and that's it. We're going to be an action group. And so this is for you. I am sort of that vessel between you and the ASGE. And so when you say this is what we need to do, then those are things that I'll bring up. Some examples would be the colorectal cancer program. How do we get trainees there? The HPV, Africa HPV program, how do we get trainees, consultants, et cetera, to those meetings? How do we get those hands-on sessions at the various reliable centers so everyone can get that experience? I'll pause here. Eric, over to you.
Thanks very much, Akwi. My name is Dr. Eric Murunga. I'm a gastroenterologist based in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm the chairman of the Gastroenterology Society of Kenya. And I just want to say, this is a great forum. This is a great opportunity for all of us to network and to achieve these goals. And Akwi, thank you very much for spearheading this. I think the ASGE, to show an interest in global worldwide collaboration, and especially with Africa, I think that's a great thing, and we're already seeing a lot of people enjoying the benefits of that, and that's something which I think this is a great start to this. And when we met with Akwi, we talked about coming together as gastroenterologists from Africa, and one of the things we felt is we could have a society where all gastroenterologists belong to. We can start that conversation, form an association, and with the goal of just doing a lot of what has been said, to collaborate, eventually to even have meetings that could start in one place and maybe rotate in different countries, and to kind of have our own agenda. We know about the United European Gastroenterology Society and all that they do by different countries, just contributing, rotating meetings around. And, that is just one way in which you can do it. So that's just some of the thoughts that, we can do. And if you look at different other societies, there are a lot of specialties that have formed this kind of organizations, and a good example is retina surgeons, retinal ophthalmologists. They do have a society, and they moved across. I think they were in Zambia last time. So there are many examples that we can glean different ideas on how to move forward. But the first step was to have a WhatsApp group to start having that conversation. We had our Kenyan meeting recently under the WGO school in Nairobi, and it was dubbed Africa Live, and Professor Ugutu. And we had a lot of live cases probably just a couple of weeks back. And there were participants from many different countries. And I know some of you may have been there. And so what we would like, or what we hope we can achieve, is just that cooperation, and then we can all discuss and together come up with an agenda going forward. But I think initiating such an association is going to be great, and so that's what I would just in summary say. And I think with this ASGE forum and this plan, I think that can work in both ways, of both ASGE moving together with our group as Africa as part of the international collaboration, and at the same time, providing platforms like this so that we can, move on with that association. Thanks a lot, Akwi.
Thank you so much, Eric. And so now I think we can, open the floor for discussion. So from my side, and, and Talin Azani, if you could correct me. So, we're planning, when we were first appointed, because there are different vice chairs for each continent. When we were first appointed, the message was basically to create programs, but it's in partnership. And so we all have a responsibility to the ASGE. So I'll present a report based on that survey. And then from there, work with everyone here to seeing what is realistically possible, even if it means starting in 2026. And leading up to that, this could be the planning process. I think some of the other things we should also think about is there's definitely opportunities for speaker engagement. If we know, if there's a specific, topic that's been proposed. We've had like IBD in Africa. The inaugural one we had was in Nigeria earlier this year. But could we get individuals from this platform as the speakers to talk about the experience of the continent, right? So the research is there, the speaking opportunities are there, the, providing the patient care is there, getting people's names out so that the patients know who you are and how to find you. We are, I'm sort of blessed. If I need a GI doctor, I just post and I'm like, oh, I know so-and-so in this country, so I can get them. But, there's some patients out there who don't have that luxury. And that's another benefit to us, being on the platform. So I'll pause here. The floor is open for discussion. If anyone wants to add anything, say anything, please go ahead, share your thoughts, your comments, and then, we'll have a game plan. So the floor is open. As people are thinking about what to say, I saw Dr. Edna Kamau has joined. Hi, Edna. If you can introduce yourself to everyone. We did introductions, but if you want to introduce yourself to everyone.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good.
My
How
name
are
is
you?
Edna. I'm very well, thank you. My name is Edna. I'm from Nairobi, and I'm a gastroenterologist. And nice to meet you again online.
Yes, indeed.
Sorry, I'm joining late. Yes.
Indeed. No, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. And then the other thing is people are thinking, feel free to raise your hand. The other thing, that we'll do is in the WhatsApp, we had people introduce themselves. And one of the other questions we'd ask was like, your area of specialty, or your area of interest. So if we have someone who's neurogastro, we'll make sure we try and highlight that. If someone who's, interventional, we'll try to highlight that. So I think that would also be, another important aspect, not only for us, but also for our patients. So once again, I'll pause. Any questions? Yes, Dr. Chukwudike.
Hi, everyone. I want to appreciate Dr. Asombang for this opportunity. Hi, Talin. I've worked with Talin for 4 years now at the ASGE International Committee. I finished in May this year. So ASGE is a good opportunity for us. I'm happy that Africa is recognized at this time. Africa is always recognized, but we have not had so much prominence in this, like this opportunity. I know Talin was in South Africa. They were in South Africa sometime ago to introduce the work of what ASGE stands for, and the opportunities that we can get. Yeah, sometimes we look at the cost, the cost of registering, which has been the challenge there. I know we talked about it some time ago, but the advantages of being a member. I became a member in ending of 2020, and it has helped me because the grant through the help of Dr. Asombang, I got it because I am a member of ASGE. So, and it helped me to do some of the training I went to do in India. And being a member has also helped me to follow up with, you see a lot of, in fact, resources one can have as far as endoscopy is concerned, advanced endoscopy and even basic endoscopy. So it helps us to be up to date on what other people are actually doing abroad and what opportunities are there. So I think establishing a regional center is very important. Some regional centers, not just regional centers, to help to cater for many people that want to advance their training in endoscopy. As you said, we cannot have advanced endoscopy in all the countries at this time. Having the regional centers will help us because the resources, the support we'll get from ASGE, instead of moving, sometimes it's good to go and train in other countries. Like if we move to America to train, most thing we can do it will be observership. So when you finish training, you need to come back and then have somebody that will follow you up. If you have a regional center, it will help us that when we train, we have people that will follow us back to monitor, to actually supervise what we do. And you can agree with me that when you finish training, it's not the same thing as when somebody is supervising you, you are doing hands-on. You are not doing hands-on, and then you finish, you come to start in your own center. But if you have a regional center in Africa, it will be easier. That very few places in Africa that you can go that they will not give you opportunity to do hands-on. So it will help us to have a lot of opportunities to do hands-on with this, what we are trying to set up. So I think it is a very good thing. The educational aspect is also another area that we need to do more. We keep updating ourselves, a lot of programs. You know that in Africa, yes, we we are not yet grown in everywhere in advanced endoscopy, but we are growing. Interest is high now. So if we have this opportunity to establish this program in different places, those that have grown more than the other ones will put the other countries up. So I think that would be a very good thing for all of us, both those that have advanced a little and those that are even starting. We have many fellows, many we'll call it senior legislators and or fellows, depending on where we are, that want to get some hands-on. They don't even have the equipment. They don't even have the facility to talk of, let alone trying to put their hands on those things. They're interested. So if you have these regional centers, it will be the only suggestion I want to make is that if you happen to establish regional centers, let's do it in such a way that if somebody moves from, for instance, let's say from Ghana to Nigeria, if Nigeria is a regional center, they should have the equal opportunity, not to say, okay, if there is funds to pay, anybody coming from Ghana to Nigeria should not pay separate bigger amount of money, as mean there's anything that is said than somebody in Nigeria, or in Nigeria moving from Nigeria to maybe Cameroon. We should do it in a way that it will be opportunity for us as African to grow and grow without restrictions. Thank you.
Thank you. And the 2 points in the handedness, the BINU, is for the training, I'm sure some of you have seen, it's not what I would call hit and run, meaning it's not someone comes for the weekend, they learn how, they touch a scope on Friday and Monday they go back and they say, I'm ready. No, I think when we're talking about training, this is just like, all of us here, we went through proper GI training. It's not only about doing an endoscopy. A patient is not a bile duct or colon. A patient is comprehensive. We know inpatient, we know outpatient, we know emergencies and things of that sort. So when we're talking about training is how do we have someone properly trained to know indications, contraindications, as opposed to I'm just going to go in, scope out. So that's what we're referring to. And if it's advanced, it's usually about a year, whatever it is that we determine, and not like a weekend only course. Some of these weekend courses are for those who are experienced, and maybe we're coming and we're doing like a fellows course or something of that sort. When you leave after 2 days, you're not certified. But I think we need to have that emphasis that what we're talking about is proper training so that our patients get that good care. And that's something that we ourselves would need to discuss in a bit more detail. Then the second part is, which everyone was talking about, the endoscopy, there's power in numbers. We are all here because we believe in what can be done. And I mention that because sometimes it's challenging to get equipment. The companies don't believe that there's potential within the African continent, right? But we're here to show that there is potential. And so that is another reason why we just need to come together, stand up and seeing how do these companies realize and acknowledge that there is potential within the continent. And my last point is like, when you see some of these studies where it's like, oh, there's low numbers of esophageal cancer, colorectal cancer, and then boom, there's endoscopy, and the numbers go up, and then it's like a sudden rise, and you're like, no, it's not a sudden rise, it's because now they can scope, right? So I think those are things that us coming together as a group, we can also go to these companies so then they can take us a little bit more seriously, as opposed to sort of, these challenges we have with getting equipment. I'll pause there, Nurse Aidabinu.
Once again, good evening, everyone. I want to talk on the aspect of the setting up centers for training. Now that we have somebody like Dr. Akwi as a vice president for the African continent, I think for the nurses, I want to speak from the nursing perspective, because in Nigeria, majority of the nurses are not well trained. Majority learn on the job. And if we have a standard training center, it will afford many nurses to come for the proper training and have a recognized ASGE certificate of training. So I want to encourage Dr. Akwi, and I want to plead that you should work on this aspect of setting up a training center where the nurses can come for their training, maybe for 3 months. Because in Nigeria, initially when the training for endoscopy started, it started in Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospitals Complex, Nigeria, in 2008. And the course lasts for 3 months. And we have different nurses from all aspects and all areas of Nigeria coming to Ife for this training. But in 2019, that was when we have this issue of COVID. Since then, the training has stopped and people are looking for where to have this endoscopy training. So I later heard that they have started in Kano, Kano Teaching Hospital. I don't know for how many months they do their training, and I don't even know whether the training is on. So for us to have many nurses that are well trained, if there is a training center, it will afford the nurses lots and lots of opportunity to have the training and being backed up by a certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that point. And for those who know me, know how I feel. I feel very strongly about incorporating nurses and techs into training. And we do have a WhatsApp group specifically for the nurses. So if there's a nurse on here, we do have a WhatsApp group for interventional GI nurses, and they're enrolled in some of the ASGE courses, and they're members of the ASGE. And there's a point on, I think I just saw, yes, and yeah. And there is a message. So if people, just going back to joining the ASGE, so if they join today and pay for 2026, they'll actually get the rest of the 2025 for free, along with free membership to 2 of the SIGs. And that's the special interest groups until December 2025. So that's a pretty good deal. If someone is still thinking about it, you'll get the rest of the year for free, if you pay for 2026. So just something for you to consider. Any other we're doing really well. We've actually hit an hour, so we'll definitely be done in a timely manner. Any other questions or comments? Because I think we'll then continue the conversation in the WhatsApp group in terms of, trying to discuss like what are some of the programs. I'll suggest some programs based on the responses everyone gave. And then in terms of these regional centers, these would have to be like centers that are already set up or in the process of being set up. An example is CELD in Ghana. If let's say we were to have a nurse, program for nurses, that's like a beautiful location for all the nurses to come and get, hands-on training there. And then Eric can, enlighten us if, in Kenya, whether it's at the WGO training center there or at, a center of his choice, if that could be a place where, people could get training. So I think these are conversations we'll for sure continue to have offline. Today was definitely just an introductory meeting. But, let's keep the fire going. I think, we're the kerosene for each other. We're the ones who need to keep each other going. As they say, Africa is our Africa. No one's going to come and, do what we think we need to do. So it's up to us to get things done, which I'm very convinced that we would. And in terms of the special interest groups, so there's at least 16 special interest groups, and they have meetings, they have webinars, they talk about, endoscopy, they talk about GI in general, practice, research, and there's opportunities for publication as well. So it's definitely something, especially for those who are thinking of professional, career advancements in addition to, our basic patient care. I'm going to pause here. Any other burning, like I said, this was our introductory meeting. Is everyone able to for a quick second, have their camera on? Just like a very quick second for a quick picture. I see a lot of names. It's going to be super, super quick picture. If I could see everyone, we'll take a very, very quick, I'm saying we like I'm the one who's going to be taking it. But we'll take a very quick picture. If everyone can just turn their camera on, it'll be less than 2 minutes. So we have a few more people. If you can turn your camera on, and then I think Kermisha's on here. Angela could help us. So give people 30 more seconds. If they can turn their cameras on, great. If not, I'll assume they cannot. So counting down, 30, 29, 28, 25, 20, 19, 15, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kamisha and Angela, if you guys could help with a picture, that'd be great. And let us know when you got it. You got it? Yes? Okay. Perfect. All right. So you guys can turn your cameras back off if you need to. But next time, we're going to have to make camera on mandatory, so I don't walk past you on the street and not know who you are when we've been in meetings. Any other questions or concerns, guys? And anything else, feel free to, you can send me a private message. I think just about everyone on here has my WhatsApp. And if you're not on the African WhatsApp group, please feel free to join that group. You can text me or Eric. Talon, over to you.
I just have one announcement for the group. We have an international webinar coming up September 13th. Nice. And it's complimentary and it's open to everyone. All you have to do is just register, whether you're a member or not. It's on GI emergencies. And our members spoken, and this was one of Dr. Vartas's dreams to even open it up to the African continent. So you're welcome. And I'll put in the link here before you leave so that everyone can just register. You don't have to be a member. Just join us and explore opportunities. That's
perfect.
all.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that reminder. Yeah, she'll put it in there and then I'll share it in the WhatsApp group and also share it online. Okay. And then we'll stay online I'll stay online just for a little bit longer as you see what's in the WhatsApp group. If anyone has any other questions, I'll be on here. We did very well, guys. We're done in an hour. But looking forward, we'll continue the conversations in the WhatsApp. All right, let's just keep this energy going. Let's just pump each other up. We got this. This is going to be an amazing, it's going to be an amazing group. We've got so much to do and I'm super excited to meet those I've not met in person. I think I've met most of you in person, actually. Still super excited to meet you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
I'll stay online.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this meeting. Bye-bye. Good night.
Everyone.
Good night, guys.
Okay.
So I'm still recording, live streaming, and then when I stop, I'll post the video for those who missed the meeting. So it's recording and live streaming.
Hi, Akwi.
I'm good. So KK, how are you, darling?
Fine. I was actually going to ask these regional centers, you know.
And by the way, you're recording and live streaming, but I'm listening.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Yes, no problem.
These regional centers, if we are going to start, maybe a few at a time, you showed that's about 6, isn't it?
Yes.
Is about 6?
Yes,
so
yes.
We can start, not all of them at the same time.
Yes.
Step by step, and then see how, because it is absolutely important to have centers in Africa where people can go to train, especially the young people. you know,
Yeah.
because the climb right now in the world makes it impossible to go anywhere, you know.
Yes.
Even if you can get a visa to go, you will have the money and all that. So it will be better to do it in such a way. So the regional centers are so important. So what I think we should do is decide which 3 to start first.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
Look at the African see if we have one in sub-Sahara, that like that, and consider that, and then see how to do. Not to try to. Yeah, you really mentioned it that we should go slow. But this is a very important thing to do. And then gradually we'll now see how the centers, because like I stay and I'm wondering how we're going to do that. Who's going to fund it? What is it with the centers that are already there, or will it be just a new thing and all that? So I would like to know a little bit more. That's why I didn't waste time talking.
Yeah. No, that's a great question. And some of the thoughts could be, funding is usually the biggest thing. And some of the thoughts is, number one, it has to be places that are established, right? Okay. Meaning if we're going to start something by next year, you cannot suddenly, it's not that we're building a building from scratch. No, it's like, I'm going to pick Nigeria since we're familiar with Nigeria. Let's say we decide Nigeria is a site. And let's say we decide Luth, and I'm just making this up, I just picked randomly. Let's say we decide Luth is a site. And if we decide Luth is a site, it's like, okay, do they have the endoscopic equipment for people to be able to go there? Do they have a GI fellowship training program, right? So, okay, there's a GI fellowship training program. Now we want to introduce interventional. Can we do interventional over there, right? That's the next part. Then the second part is, what is the administrative support? Because as much as we might be so excited to do this, if we don't have administrative support, these things don't move very well. So it's like, how supportive is the admin? What is the potential government support? And one of the discussions that came up at the recent HBCC meeting is, how do we get the African Union to be somehow involved, right? And then the third part about, trainers. That part, I think that could potentially be a role where ASGE comes in when we talk about those in the diaspora. As I come, I go to Nigeria, et cetera, and all these places, and there's more people who want to come. So is that something where it's like you announce to ASGE members, there's over 17,000 members, we announce, who is interested, we create a schedule, just like how we had done for other places, and then people sign up. So it's definitely very possible. I know it's very possible, but the biggest challenge, like you mentioned or you alluded to, was the funding part. And so how do we get funding and support? I think first, institutions should acknowledge that it's a priority, and they should be able to give some funding somehow to improve. It's not going to be easy, but that's how it has to start. Because I think getting the human power would be less challenging. And one of the things people have to acknowledge is when people come or travel to these different countries, they're not getting extra paid. Some of them are using, as you already know, they're using their vacation time. They're giving up a lot. So they're not asking to be paid. But I think they would ask for the very least, can you host them in country? So is the institution able to at least host them when they get there, provide them with food and things of that sort? So I think it'll be challenging, but I think it's something that we can navigate, which, as you point out, let's say we start with 3 out of the 5, then it's like, which 3 sites are strong enough? It won't be like a site that's never done anything, but like which site has a GI fellowship training program, and which one do we think we could start with? I think that would be an approach.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that. And you have experience. I mean, you have a lot of experience, in research, you have a lot of experience in, in these exchange programs, collaborations, so it's definitely connecting with individuals like yourself as well on the platform and saying, okay, what's more realistic?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What you said is really good. Like in Nigeria, there are just maybe 3 places that can definitely loot. And Kano is upcoming. They have a lot of support.
Yeah.
A lot of support, from, not only the government, the hospital, even individuals in Kano, can support them. So I agree with what you said. Yes. Yeah, we pick centers like that, and then get another thing will be also where like members, your members will be willing to go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, like, when you put the call out there, people go wherever, as long as it's safe, that people are going to go. Like, most people who are involved in this work of bilateral exchanges, they're not picky, at least the ones I've come across. No one's going to be like, I need to have this. Because when you put it out there, there's more, even though we have 17,000 as members, I'm sure we have more options. I think for people, it's giving them enough notice and knowing what's available on the ground. Some people might feel they have an obligation to country, meaning it might be, I'm only going to go to Nigeria because I'm Nigerian. I'm only going to go to Kenya because I'm Kenyan, which either way, it's fine as long as you're going to contribute and we can get people. But I think if people have enough notice and they know what they're getting into, things are pretty clear. Those who are doing this work of bilateral exchange, global health, they're really not picky. I mean, they're not picky. They'll go wherever there is a need, wherever there's individuals who welcome them, and then they're willing to also take individuals with them for the exchange component, because that's the other key too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Okay, we look forward to this. Quite interesting, honestly.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll start positive. We'll maintain this energy. We'll give our reports. We'll reassess at a year. We'll reassess at 2 years, and we'll say, you know what? We tried. It worked. We tried. This is where we missed. Instead of 5, we got 1 in. But we'll just, I think we'll just pump each other up. We'll keep each other energized. It's going to be bumpy. But we cannot give up without starting. So we try. We see what hits us, and then we go from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. For anyone who's still on, I think someone wants mine. I think someone wanted my number. Yes, I'll just share my number. I'll type my number in there, my WhatsApp number.
Okay, Talin, the link is up. Talin?
Yes, do you see it?
The link for the webinar or the registration?
Yes, it's not working.
No. Where is it?
I put it in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look for it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Not a problem.
You. Okay.
I'll stay online until you click it. All right. See you later. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
We will. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful event. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. It was lovely seeing you, and have a good afternoon, good evening, and have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a lot, Talon. Thank you.
My pleasure. Dr. Akwi, if you want to put something in our scope or global scope as like a shout out, we should do that so that everyone can see it.
Okay, yeah.
Today's event.
Oh, well, that'd be great. Yes. I had Angela and Kamisha take a picture, so maybe we can add that. Yep. Okay. Perfect. I'll send you something, and then you can.
Exposure.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you, and then you can help me edit so that I make sure it meets criteria.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
And I'm sorry, did you want to use these slides for the international webinar?
Yeah, they were great. Yeah, I could use the same if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was perfect. Hi, Mashiko. Your hand is up.
Hi, I'm sorry I joined a bit late. Is this meeting being recorded? I missed, unfortunately, the first part of it.
Yes. It's being recorded. So I can definitely.
Can you please get the link to the recording?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Introduce yourself, Mashiko. There's still
Are
people on here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mashiko Sotedi. I'm based at Cape Town in South Africa. Lovely to be here. I'm sorry I joined about 15 minutes late. I had another meeting.
Yeah, so she's a consultant gastroenterologist, and she's the department chair of internal medicine at UCT. So that's probably why she had a million meetings. And she was recently, we were in South Africa together. So she was one of our amazing speakers. So for anyone who's ever heard Mashiko speak, you're in for a good treat. So I think we should have her on like our speaking, one of our speakers for like future programs. So super, super grateful you could make some time. I know you're extremely busy. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks, Akwi.
You too. I'll send you the link, no problem.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Good night, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you, Talon. Take care.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
All right. Ciao.